Hello, everyone. Welcome back to a new episode of Chlorinated Thoughts. I'm your host, Leah Chulak, and I am recording live from San Antonio, Texas. Why am I in San Antonio, you may ask? Well, I am here for a swim meet, which is the Tier Pro Swim Series, and one of the meets is held in San Antonio. Team decided to come here, but it's the end of our short course or our collegiate season, which is short course yards, and then people that want to keep racing in long course meters, which is like, what the Olympic sized pool is, they can come here and race. I'm here and I've realized many things while I've been here. It's been an interesting journey, even though I've only been here for 3 days. I've already known this, I don't know, maybe for a few weeks, but I just needed a few more signs. I've realized that I'm burnt out. Basically, today I want to talk about burnout. I don't even know if many people know what that is. Well, they probably do, but they don't really know like the exact definition of it. I want to talk about how to identify burnout, how to see if you're burnt out, and I want to talk about things to get out of burnout as well as things to prevent burnout in the first place. I think these are really important topics in any aspect of your life. You can be burnt out from so many things. I think for a lot of people, there's like a final straw where they're like, ugh, I cannot do this anymore. I'm totally burnt out. And that's when people really decide to take action. And I feel like you really have to listen to that feeling when you know, like when you, when you know, that's what I feel. I think it's gonna be a great episode, so stay tuned. A little more information on my week. Well, we are already in the second week of April, and I'm literally leaving the USA in like 5 weeks, which is crazy to me. I have already rented out a storage unit, so I need to start packing up my boxes and starting to take like things that I don't really need anymore into there, which is gonna be crazy moving out of the dorms. Loki, it's gonna be so nice because I just cannot wait to actually have my own space. And I've been saving so many videos, room decor, and like, cute things that I can do in our apartment next year, which I'm sharing with my friend who is from Turkey, which is cool. I'm really excited to finally have my own room. I've honestly been like I've had enough of sharing with other people. No hate to anyone, but it's just, I think all of us are just like, this is not a normal way to live. I've already shared my room with my sister when I was younger. I don't need to share anymore. That's going to be so nice. And I finally will be able to record podcasts whenever I want in my room. I don't have to be like, oh, okay, she's not going to be here for like half an hour. I need to record now quickly. You know what I mean? That's why it's also nice that I'm just here in the hotel room and I can record whenever I want. Even though there's literally a door in my hotel room, whenever the person in the room next to me is like taking a shower or like flushing the toilet, I can hear it, which is kind of funny, but it is what it is. I don't care really because this is my own room. Let's start out with what is burnout. So basically, I checked the Google definition of it, and it said that burnout is the state of complete mental, emotional, and physical exhaustion. It basically is just, all around exhaustion. You just feel like you don't have the power and like emotional capacity to do anything. The way I've been describing it is you feel like you're living, but you're just going through the motions of living your everyday life. You're not really like mentally in it. It's kind of scary saying it out loud. Oh, like that's not good, You feel like you're just here, but you're not really here. That's not a nice feeling to have. For me, at least, there has been a stigma around burnout my whole life. In the swimming world, burnout is like a really bad thing, but we use burnout in a totally different aspect for us when a swimmer like starts to swim really good and then she starts like not swimming good at all and she's swimming really bad times. Oh, that person is burnt out. They burnt her out. They made her train too much. They trained her to the point where she's just physically exhausted and she can't do anything anymore. Really made it seem like something that was like, I don't want to be burnt out. And it really, to me when I was younger, it felt like something that could not be reversed. Like if you're burnt out, you're burnt out. That's like a pretty shitty feeling to feel when you're like really young, and having that stigma around it when you're really young. Experiencing it now, it changed like my whole perspective on burnout, because all of the things that I just said is totally false. It's not something that you should be ashamed of. It's not something that's your fault. Literally, burnout is something that results from having too much passion and ambition. When you start to feel so much ambition and so much passion for something and so much drive to achieve something, you're not getting a good amount of positive feedback, if you know what I mean. Let me give you an example. So basically, I had this passion and desire for years to be like the best swimmer I can ever be, and I did everything in my power to make that happen from 2020 to 2021, like actively doing everything in my power, literally with positive reinforcement, with all of the achievements coming in. It fueled me up more and it made me feel even more like fired up to achieve more and achieve more, because I was getting that positive feedback and the results that I wanted. When you start to experience the negative aspect, not achieving as much as you wanted and always having that sense of not being satisfied, when those feelings of not being satisfied override the feeling of satisfaction and success, those bad feelings can really destroy your passion and desire to achieve and to achieve success. When you haven't been hit with that dopamine of being successful in a really long time, and you keep constantly getting hit by this feeling of, feeling like shit and feeling unsatisfied, what you've tried to accomplish, and not being able to hit that desire, after a while you can't turn that setback into motivation. You can't turn that setback into hunger to win, because it just keeps beating you down. I feel like that's when burnout happens. And I know I've really tried to justify to keep going, like justifying like, no, I need to just keep going, and like if I take a break it's going to set me back even more. But I was watching, I think I saw this reel, and it was like, rest is just as important as working your ass off, so if you justify and try to think of an excuse for you to keep going, honestly, like over time it will get worse, and you have to really let yourself like surrender to this complete and utter rest. So that is the definition of burnout, the stigma around burnout, and I feel like I've gone over some of the signs too, but like more signs could potentially lead you to burnout, and also signs that you may actually all like now be burnt out is that you can't really be asked to do things you enjoyed doing in the past. You don't really want to do them anymore. You have a prolonged demotivation. I know that motivation is it's not a permanent thing. You shouldn't be sad that you're not always motivated, because motivation comes and goes. But when you have this like prolonged sense of motivation, like you haven't felt motivated to do the things you love in a long time, it can be a sign of burnout. How do we deal with burnout? I'm also going through this with you. The only solution to burnout, what I've experienced, literally the only thing that I'm craving right now that I can possibly think of to deal with this is to rest. I don't think there's any other solution to deal with this except for rest, especially when you're mentally burnt out, because your mindset will affect your whole body. It's honestly, a domino effect with even your whole body. You need to give your mind and body the rest it needs, or else you will plummet, and you will keep plummeting. Finally, prioritize yourself and stop thinking of what other people will say and what other people will think, because at the end of the day, you know what's best for you. A lot of people don't have the privilege to just be like, no, like I'm not gonna do this right now. And like I've kind of gone through it when you have to do something. Collegiate swimming, I can't just stop in the middle of the season and be like, oh, I'm not doing this right now. That's not how it works, because I need to keep training for the team, and I need to keep training because it's literally like the middle of the season. That's not how it works. So if you can't find rest in the things that you are obligated to do, you can find rest in the things that you are not obligated to do. There are like many forms of rest. So you might be thinking, what kind of rest is the best for me in this stage of my life with burnout? I can tell you that these short fixes, shopping, like retail therapy, is not the answer. Maybe it's, nice to, spark a little bit of dopamine in the moment, but that does not cause any long-term benefits. Definitely no substance abuse. Make you feel good in the moment, but that is also something that will not benefit you in the long run. What you need is valuable rest. And valuable rest can come in like a lot of different forms. Getting out of your environment and like a change in your environment can really contribute a good amount to valuable rest, because you're surrounded just a new environment, and usually that comes with, traveling. You can honestly go have a gym membership in like a new place, go there. Or I've seen a lot of these, I don't know how they call this, like rejuvenate centers, and it's like you have a sauna, you have an ice bath, you have a hot tub, and you can just be there, go there whenever you feel like, the world is caving in on you, and just have that little time for yourself, and that little change of environment will be great. And I know that even for us being on a college campus, it can get so repetitive, and it can just be the same environment, and you just get bored of it. Your mind responds well to new experiences. So me and my friends went to the beach the other day, to Lake Saguaro, and it was so much fun. It literally, we drove an hour, and you would just, we would just lay on the beach, go into the lake and stuff, and it was so great, because we just got to get out of that typical environment that we're always in. And it literally was a 1 hour drive, and also it was literally free. All you had to get was gas, and it was great. And it would be so great if I had my own car too, because I would literally be taking road trips like every month to a different state. I'm not even joking. It would be so nice. But anyways, I think also a change of routine can be really great too. Getting time off work, getting time off of school. I know that summer is right around the corner, and that is a great time to, relax and have a little bit of a new break. And I'm not gonna lie to you, I cannot wait for the summer, because this is going to be the first summer in my life where my summer's not revolving around swimming. Promised myself I cannot do this anymore after one of my events went badly. I'm gonna give myself the summer to rest and recover. Go down to the pool whenever I want to go down to the pool, and not force myself to do things that I'm not in the mood to do at the moment. There's a difference between discipline, and there's also a difference between torturing yourself, which that is a very harsh word, but there's a difference. Your discipline is paying off, and then there's also a difference between when your discipline is just not paying off, and you're like, okay, this is the sign for me to try something new, or just give it a little bit of a break. Sometimes that's what you need. Swimming is basically my so-called job. It's something that I've always, needed to do, and always been like obligated to do, and it was from my own free will, but it was something that I held myself accountable for years, literally 10 years, 14 years of my life. So I feel like I deserve to have one summer where I do what I want, swim when I want, and do things when I want. That's just my perspective, but I think it's so great to have some time off of work. Basically, valuable rest is really important, and quality rest is important. I know a really great thing that I've been doing really consistently is journaling, and it's honestly helped me so much with coping anything emotional or anything that I'm dealing with in my life. And it gives you so much clarity. And I know I've literally talked about journaling all the time, but I have an episode planned scientifically why journaling is like so great for you. So I'm also going to have that in one of my next episodes. Journaling is so great, and practices like yoga and meditation are also so great for things like that. That's why this summer I want to go on a yoga retreat and, feel that inner peace and connect with myself on a deeper level, like focusing on my breathing and stuff. I think it's like so great mentally, and it regulates your nervous system really well. I think these factors really are really good with dealing with burnout, but they're also really good ways to prevent burnout. Because at the end of the day, we really want to, avoid burnout as much as possible and prevent it as much as possible before it becomes an actual problem. Things I've learned over the years and stuff is you feel like your body needs rest, your body needs rest. That can be like in so many forms. If you feel like, okay, today I really just, my body's so exhausted, I cannot go to practice, or I cannot do anything today. I just need to just be and do whatever I want and not be obligated to do anything. You need to follow that intuition, and that's to a certain extent, because there's a certain extent where you want to keep going and you want to keep being disciplined and you want to keep doing the things that you want to do. But when they are starting to drain you and drain your energy and drain your capacity to function, that's when you need to be like, okay, well, maybe this is, maybe I need a little bit of a break. So that's a really good way to prevent burnout from happening, is taking those smaller periods of rest to, have like a little recovery, and then you can keep going with the same momentum that you have been going with. Another great way to deal with burnout is do not overstep your boundaries. When someone asks you to hang out and you've literally done like 5 things in that day and you just feel bad to say no, you have to stand your ground and be like, hey, like, I just can't do it today. Like, I'm just really tired. I want to have this time for myself. Or when your boyfriend wants to hang out and you feel like you're like, oh, I just really need to be alone right now and do my own thing. You can just tell him like, hey, we can't hang out today. So I think not overstepping your boundaries is so great. And at the end of the day, burnout can teach you a lot of things. A crazy roller coaster ride we're riding in this lifetime, and just know that burnout is like reversible, and you're not going to be stuck in this place forever, but you need to be proactive and you need to want to make a change and make yourself better. When you're not living life with those beautiful, positive emotions, it really makes you kind of sad and burnt out. Practice gratitude and positivity because it overall raises your vibration. And also during your rest and burnout, you should definitely take a step back and reevaluate the things that haven't been serving you when you were so under pressure, and things that have been serving you, and evaluate those. Take a step back and reflect how you can improve your life to prevent this from happening again. That's all I have for you guys today. I really hope you enjoyed this episode, and I hope you got something out of it. I hope by now you can identify burnout and can look out for it, and also can look out for ways to prevent it. But at the end of the day, we all deserve rest and we all deserve recovery, and don't think for a second that you're not someone that has earned it, because you have. We always work so hard to please everyone else and please ourselves, but sometimes the way to please ourselves and everyone else in the long run is for us to have some rest, have us gain a different perspective with a little bit of peace in our minds. I hope you enjoyed today's podcast. Remember to rate my show a 5 stars if you think it's worthy of a 5 stars. And also follow my Chlorinated Thoughts Instagram, because I have one. So I'm going to be putting that in the bio. And I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. I love you guys, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye bye.